Namaste, angels. This will be the weekly love reading for the period of today, Sunday, July 15th through Saturday, July 21st, beginning with what's going on in our skies, in the celestial system. Okay, this week on, well, let's start with the 12th, even though the reading goes with the begins with the 15th. Let's start with the 12th. So most of you are aware, at least in the Eastern time zone, on July 12th at 10:48 p.m., the new moon and partial solar eclipse in Cancer occurred. Excuse me. For others of us, that happened on the 13th. And also on the 13th, we began on the Hebrew calendar the month of Av, which is the month of Father, basically. It's a very special month because it includes like the saddest time and the most joyous time in Hebrew history. The saddest time because the date on which the temples were destroyed in Jerusalem happened on two separate occasions, but the same day falls within the month of Av. But also what falls within the month of Av is this soulmate day that I keep telling you guys about. It's not this week, it's next week. So we'll really get into it next week. But I just want you to be excited about it and to be preparing for it and to be working on your energy. And so that, you know, if you're meant to come together on that day or have some sort of, experience, a shift, movement forward with you and a partner, or if you're meant to meet a partner, I want you to be ready to do that. If there's anything that I can do to help. So between these free readings that I provide and the readings that I offer that you can get, for your own customized private, and the healing that I offer, I hope that we can get you guys ready. So anyway, getting back to what's going on this week specifically, we had that new moon in Cancer. And then on the 16th of this week, we have Uranus semi-sextile Chiron, and that's going to move us to explore things like holistic healing. That's what it's really going to be about. Chiron, also known as the wounded healer, retrograde currently himself in Aries. So this very aggressive sign ruled by Mars, which is also in retrograde in Aquarius. I mean, so it's crazy right now. And so we are too. We're crazy too. And, there's things definitely that I can help with. Again, some of which I hope to do so right now for free. But there's other stuff that I offer for like nominal fees, just so we can keep going. The Uranus semi-sextile Chiron, I feel and felt. I did a special quick reading just surrounding the energy of this day and the shift that was told and shown was going to come just with this day, 7/16/2018, which equals numerically 7711 or 88. Our eights that we keep seeing. And again, it's going to be pushing us to heal. Now, the other extreme, or the dark extreme, is that some of us may feel moved to pick up some sort of addiction, drinking or drugs or something toxic. And that could be furthered by the fact that Saturn, the restrictive planet, ruler of the restrictive sign of Capricorn, is also retrograde in Capricorn. Or it could be Pluto, which rules Scorpio, and Scorpios can get into toxicity too, especially like sex addictions and stuff like that. They can be kind of hot in the pants. That's Pluto also retrograde in Capricorn. So again, a lot happening. On a positive note, Chiron retrograde in Aries, and Chiron in Aries people is about, in general, brushing yourself off when you get hurt and, getting back up and keep going. Keep it moving. Don't sit there sulking or wallowing in your own pity and pain and guilt or doubt or whatever it is, negative emotions. Get up, brush yourself off, refocus. Remember that better things are ahead, that you're, a child of the universe or a child of God, or a star seed, whatever the heck you consider yourself, and keep it pushing, So yeah, the numerology is further special about that day, 716, which equals 7711, because the Uranus semi-sextile Chiron occurs at 1:15 p.m., which is also 7. And it will be 2 degrees, 2 degrees Uranus 22, Chiron 22. And also, at the same time, because of the retrograde, 2 degrees Aries 22 retrograde. So 222, 222, and 7711. And then another 7 for the time. So that's a lot. It's a lot of really special numerology. And from what I've been shown and said, and like I said, and felt, shift coming on the 716. On 720, oh, before I leave 716, also on 716 for the spiritual, the theological energy is it's also the feast day of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, otherwise known as Our Lady, Queen and Mother of Chile. So the Virgin Mary being celebrated in Chile on that day too. July 20th at 9:41 a.m. Saturn will be, so that restricted planet I just talked about will be quintile Neptune. And what that was going to be about, from what I seen, felt, and then was guided to look up and read, is sort of like this fight between the restriction and, with Saturn, and the dreaminess and fantasy and wanting to delve into, new creative things of Neptune. So we may have a little inner power struggle going on the 20th. And then that's it. The 21st, in the general reading, I said that on the 21st, the sun enters Leo. Now I'm actually looking at something online that says the sun enters Leo on the 22nd. So this weekend it enters Leo. Either the 21st on Saturday, the last day for which this reading is, or next Sunday it will enter Leo. So we might see that showing up too. I did see it showing up in the general. There was a lot of Leo energy, which could also be because Mercury is in Leo. Mercury, which is also approaching retrograde, is in Leo. So in addition to this, since I've been mentioning the retrogrades, what else is in retrograde? Neptune is in retrograde in Pisces, which it rules. Jupiter has gone direct. Yay. I mentioned Chiron is retrograde in Aries. Mars is retrograde in Aquarius. Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn. Saturn is retrograde in Capricorn. And I think that's it. All right, so now that we know all that, let's get to our dice, beginning with sex. 29, which could stand for spiritual partnership. And forget it. Forget it could be like let go of whatever is holding you back. Like that, the Saturn energy I was just talking about. Or it could be about like Chiron and Aries. Again, like forget the fact that you fell down. Just get up and keep going. 29 still very prominent, although the dice didn't land on 29 this time. It's like staring me in the face there. Can you see it? So I think it's still important, 29. But also spend money. So the universe does not want us to be worried this week about money and to be hoarding. No Four of Pentacles hugging. We need to trust that we are able to manifest and that our positive thoughts will bring the abundance to us. Also, at the end of the week, there is something going on with Venus and Jupiter. not as major a transit as these other things, but a very positive transit nonetheless that should bring us some money. So go ahead and spend because we're getting more. Also, romantic dinner. Maybe this is on what you're spending. And it could be connected to 29 as well. Romantic partnership. I mean, spiritual partnership, but this of the romantic nature, perhaps. And email is maybe how you get back in contact in order to hook up, as they say. All right, so I'm going to go to the cards, and I don't think I've ever read this card before. It's Woman of Light, card number 49 equals 13 or 4 or 11, 11. I'm not sure if that's our card, though. Okay, the card on top has changed after like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. It was Yin Yang Lover for 3-4 weeks for sure. But it is now Heart of Gold, card number 9. Maybe I will give it one shuffle and we'll see. So opening to She Loves, card number 61 equals 7. Maybe that's our card. Woman of Light. And Contemplation, card number 69. That feels like that could be our card too. I wish I could hear what you guys were saying, which one we should choose. Contemplation. All right, what's on top now? Still Heart of Gold. All right, let's go with Contemplation. You know, I picked up the book and opened right to Woman of Light, so I won't read the whole thing, but I at least want to read this part. This oracle brings you guidance that you are to be witness to the presence of an awakened being, either within your own self as part of your spiritual destiny or in the form of a beloved other. An awakened one is in your midst, or soon will be. This could be next week with the soulmate thing. Receive the blessing that emanates from such a being. For to behold one is a gracious spiritual gift that will lift you to the next step of your path. If you're having trouble discerning the true presence of an awakened teacher in your midst, or even in your own being, remember that nothing is asked from you by such awakened ones, but loving devotion so that they may serve the awakening of all living beings. It requires much karmic grace to be granted immediate access to an awakened being, even more to become such a living light. Take delight. I asked God for a deepening of my love, without realizing that the deeper I was willing to go, the more it involved letting go of any part of myself that wanted to love and still be safe. In surrender to the possible lay the greatest potential for love. At levels before unknown, like a cistern that holds the nectar of life and gives its precious liquid, only to be filled again with nature's flow. Such knowingness is a gift, for if you can embrace the blessing, you can live without question, relaxing and replenishing, with each breath, with each kiss, always whole. Okay, book 69, Contemplation. Within you, there's a question arising. When you get the question right, the answer will be self-evident. But you have to plunge your consciousness deep within to find the right question, to articulate it clearly and understand what it is that you're really asking. That question within you is actually a divine gift of awakening. Wow, they're like the same card. They're like the same card, the same message. I guess I was meant to read both. It is your future awakened self waiting to be found and calling to you. Let the question arise through dreams, dance, meditation, sleep, yoga, time in nature, swimming in the ocean, bathing in aromatherapy bath, or receiving a hot stone massage. The question holds within the next unfolding petal of the lotus of your being. This oracle brings you an invitation to enter the mystery of your life and your being, and to allow the biggest question you can summon to emerge from your heart and be expressed through love. Your question may emerge as a clear and shining, or soft and yielding, and question with no words, only feeling. Whatever truth emerges, let that be your contemplation. In response to the question, the next step forward will unfold before you, revealed in perfect clarity and perfect timing. This oracle brings you a message from your own divine nature. Come sit with me and breathe. I want to ask you something. I want you to ask me something. Together there is a conversation that we are to have now, and there will be beautiful accord between us that overflows in all of our relationships, bringing more understanding and peace. Patterns break through the night, in beams of light awakening, memories of walking on sand, moments, waves replace, waiting for another passerby. Reflections, time to look outward in, to find those hidden spaces, residing alone, waiting for a twin soul, waiting for myself. And with that, let's see what the Divine Masculine has to say this week, or what he's feeling about us, beginning with soulmate, or about the situation. And birth. So birth of something new with a soulmate, perhaps. And they just mentioned the lotus flower, in the petals of our being. Here is a being on this first card of ours, coming from, emerging from a lotus flower, being birthed, perhaps, from a lotus flower. Soulmate, divine guidance, more 8, more moon, feminine energy of surrender, letting go, divine guidance, and earth connection, spending time with Mother Nature, opening up the flow to abundance of all forms, love, finances, material. But only if you can combat the fear, face the fear and combat the fear. I talked about the negative emotions, getting rid of those, letting them go, earth connection, and golden memories. Leave them behind. This is, when I pull this card for people, this is where I tell them, drop that shit like a hot fucking bag of rocks. Okay? Like it's about to burn a hole through your hand. That's what it is. It's hot rocks. It's lava. This is the negative emotion. You got to leave it behind and only take the positive lessons and memories and good times, feelings and things that you experienced from the past stuff. Only bring that with you and leave everything else behind. You'll feel so much lighter. Your bags are too heavy right now. Not only they're heavy, they're hot, right? They're full of lava. This card also brings in the energy of fire signs, by the way. Maybe fire opposite earth or air. This earth connection represents not only earth signs because it's, very in a literal sense, but also the planet Venus for me, which is ruler of course, both earth and air energies, and is the planet and goddess of love, money, popularity, confidence. So all those things that we need to let go of fear and to move on. Beauty. Earth connection. I'll do one more. It is sorrow. Drop this too. Let it go. Forget it. Leave it in the past where it occurred. And only take the positive lessons that, you learned from it. Begin with yourself. The doubt, the guilt. Sorrow. Doubt, guilt, resentment, regret. All stuff we need to let go. And one of the ways that we can do that is through different things. Exercise with our, right? So that's exercising the physical body. Also massage, acupuncture. These are things that involve the physical body that would help us to release negative emotions and stress and old pain and to just move on. Another way that we can do this is by what we put into our body, not just how we use it in an active way or not, but what we put into it. Clean energy food. Doesn't have to be vegan. Just clean. Just clean, because that's going to help you to maintain and to increase your vibration, and therefore to heal. Exercise also helps to increase positive endorphins, which pulls us out of depression and sadness and sorrow. All right, it reverses those effects. It makes us happy. Overall energy is the goddess. So more surrender, more letting go, more delving into femininity and that archetype within. Speaking of femininity, the feminine about herself this week, the masculine as it relates to the feminine about himself, the union as a whole. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do, contribute, surrender toward the union this week. What he himself is willing to. And what the universe would have the two to do. I didn't put the outcome here. There we go. Feminine, guardian. So stepping out into the world, facing our struggles, our fears, forward, just forward, onward. We're not alone. And we know this, right? So we have guidance. We have support. It is very close by. And all we have to do is seek it. Masculine about the feminine this week, enchantment. So this is that healing energy. This is, she's been down, but she's not out. This woman with the scarred face, scarred neck, even looks like maybe some stitches or something on her breasts here even. But she's nude, which means she is super vulnerable. Not only the fact that she's nude, but she's nude with her head tilted back and her eyes closed. I mean, you can't really get much more vulnerable than that. She's really in surrender to this energy here. Venus, Mars, head to toe, healing. She's enchanted with the universe. So we're guided to experience some of the same, the energy of earth signs, but also those ruled by Venus and those ruled by Mars coming in here. So Aries, Scorpio, and maybe especially Aries in the Chiron, the wounded healer, right? She's wounded and going through this healing process. Aries, Scorpio, Libra, Gemini, Taurus, all of those. Maybe the other earth signs too, Virgo, Capricorn. This was more fire again here. The masculine about himself this week, as it relates to the union and the feminine, tantric union. Very nice. So a lot of this telepathy and maybe actual sex. Sex came up in the dice too. Could be, you know, physical connections. Physical body might be involved. That might be your exercise. But it doesn't have to be. This is such a so much deeper connection than just that. You know, it's the emotional aspects of it. It's the spiritual aspects of it. And for that, we don't have to be naked and we don't even have to be together. We can do that telepathically until you may, or in your dreams or something too. Union as a whole. Fear. Fear. From the perspective of the masculine, his feelings on the union as a whole are fear this week. That makes me a little sad, but I'm going to keep going. I mean, we know. Now, this could be connected to fire, too. And it looks like a whole big sun here, kind of. But definitely the same colors as the Guardian card. So, we're, you know, it's kind of like bookends here. And may also be connected to, like, Mars, again, which is the masculine planet of love and aggression, action. This fear could be, it is kind of like the opposite of that. Like, it's what restricts you from taking action. So it may have to do with the retrograde, with the Mars retrograde, the way he's feeling here. Overall, speaking of the Mars retrograde, it's retrograde in Aquarius, which is represented by the star in the tarot. This card for me represents both air and water signs, and of the air element, particularly the sign of Aquarius. It is similar to the High Priestess for me, coming into wisdom, intuition, realizing synchronicities, signs, paying attention to them, maybe understanding sometimes that they're coming from your guardian and that they're showing you the path, or they're lighting the way for you and showing you which direction to go, how to make a decision, when to take action, when not to take action. Pay attention to all those signs and signals that you get in that regard. Also, though, this is about the energy of Aquarius, and that's communication, and maybe specifically telepathic communication, especially since it sits here atop tantric union. Telepathic communication, other means of electronic communication, email, like the dice suggested. So especially electronic communication, that's connected to the energy of Aquarius and Uranus, which rules Aquarius, because they rule technology. And then all air signs are connected to the energy of communication. And speaking of Uranus ruling Aquarius, now I feel even more so what I was saying about Mars and everything a minute ago, because we have, I just went over at the beginning of this, Uranus sextile Chiron, the wounded healer. And I think that's what this is sort of depicting and illustrating right here this week. What would the masculine have the feminine do toward the union this week? Emergence. This is rising like the phoenix, still working on healing though. This is still trying to get like nearer and dearer to the universe and seeking not just, you know, the yellow light that helped us to get this far, but now white light, Christ light. So really trying to continue to ascend and to leave the darkness behind. Because where there is light, there's dark. So if she's surrounded by all this light, the dark must be from where she came. She's risen above that, and the masculine wants her to keep going, upward and onward. More of these colors of the fire signs too, but also chakras. A lot of yellow here. That would be solar plexus. And a lot of orange too, so sacral, which may be connected to the tantric union and or the sex as well. What's the masculine willing to do here this week toward the union? Message from afar. So we're still on this, like tic-tac-toe 3 in a row, on this communication tip, and may still be connected to Mars and taking action and aggression with all this fire surrounding him. But whatever is moving him to communicate, you know, good. Also, this can be about communication coming to him and the fact that he's willing to pay attention to it through his signs that he receives and things. Message from afar can be physical contact too, as well as other 3D means of communication. Again, email, phone calls, long distance maybe, all that kind of stuff. What would the universe have the 2 to do this week? Reflection. Reflection. And maybe in preparation for next week, which is going to be more exciting as it relates to divine love. This is going all the way back to how they celebrated divine love in, you know, the scriptures, the Hebrew scriptures. So this predates Christianity and all that stuff. I'm talking King Solomon. This is way back. Outcome, earth connection. So being moved to spend time with nature, just like in what I just read. Spend time with nature from all the other stuff that's going on. That's going to help us to really, like, it's like each one, while one might like move you to do the other, they all sort of like come back to the original idea of the healing. It's like a cycle. You spend time in nature, that opens up the flow, right? The abundance begins to come. you release the negativity. Or you can look at it the other way around. You begin to release the negativity, the abundance starts to flow, you move to spend time with nature, you connect with mother, you increase, you know, a very nice cycle. All with the means of releasing this and facing this and releasing it and moving on from it. Through surrender. Check things out from the perspective of the universe, beginning with communication and opening to karma. Communication, and here's the karmic female. Communication and gossip, which is a form of communication, unfortunately. Communication, and there's the divine feminine there, blonde female, who's really a redhead, not blonde at all. But this is wanting to be seen too. Past life. So this connected to the karma and perhaps to the karmic female as well, who may very well be a Cancer or a Leo or Leo Cancer Cuspian. Controlling, manipulative. But destiny awaits nonetheless, and it can't be fought. It can't be thwarted. It can't be fought. It's going to happen. That's what destiny is all about. Communication. Open relationship. Speaking of long distance, our overall energy is long distance. Someone waiting for their ship to come in. It has 3 sails. 3s represent abundance, creativity, creation, the creator, and of course, parties of 3. Divine couple, recent past, masculine's higher self, near future, blocks to the union, what the feminine can do, the masculine can do, further advice from the universe for the 2, like what the universe will help them with this week, and the outcome. Divine couple. Children, another party of 3 perhaps, but can also be connected to the same energy that we saw and felt with birth that showed up from the first deck that I work with. Kind of like the Empress. So like the birth of new things. The children can represent fertility and new beginnings, a new start. For some, more literal, children, right? And very impactful upon you this week. Recent past. New love. So something was sparked and ignited or reignited and you started over. Even if it was just energetically. New love coming in. Near future. Fun times. So this progressing and growing to something a little bit more exciting. Masculine's higher self. Freedom. I love this. This is the energy of Aquarius. So maybe he's, again, in the last spread we saw a lot of Mars. That this is where Mars is located. So this is probably what's, this is not surprising as to what's on his mind. Wanting to break away from any chains that bind, any restrictions, any manipulation that we just saw, being operated like a puppet. Blocks to the union. True love. Fear of it, basically. It's like overwhelming. It's too much. It's too much. On a more positive note, it can also be looked at as, you know, for some that it's not a block at all, or there is no block right now. There is no challenge right now. as long as you're able to muster up the strength and the confidence to face this. What can the feminine do either way? Young female. This is taking on the energy of, first of all, it's being lighthearted. Right? It's being like a mutable sign, specifically Sagittarius. That's what this card represents for me. The planet Jupiter, of course, again, connected to our karma and our luck and our fortune and good things, beginning to come in for us, like this, abundance. So what the feminine can do here is, again, lighten her load, get rid, like the memories card that we saw that involved fire too. Drop all that stuff, lighten yourself up like a mutable sign. More youthful, more childlike, preparing for fun times. What about the masculine? Past love. This can mean a few things. This can mean someone from the feminine herself can be the masculine's past love. That's not what I felt initially, though. That's why I'm saying it could be a few things. I felt that this was somebody else, that this was something karmic that he had to deal with. And then, which would explain why the true love is not necessarily a block to the union, but it's a block for him. It's a problem for him that, if he's involved somewhere else, but this is where his heart's calling, that is a challenge. And that's what I feel it is, a karmic situation. And then his mind is here, his higher self is here, in this place of freedom, like wanting to break away from this thing that's holding him back here. Further advice from the universe, what the universe will help the two with this week to get forward, move forward. Money, but not only money, but also the earth signs. The universe is going to help us with this freedom aspect. It's going to help us to go after what is valuable to us, what it is that we want, which is like the true love and the new love and the positive things, the positive aspect, to break away from this negativity that is represented by the Pentacles coin. So this is the energy of Saturn. This is the energy of Capricorn. This is the restriction. And also it can be literal for some of us that money is one of the things that holds us back. Money is one of the things that keeps us in a relationship that's toxic. Money is one of the things that, makes us worry about, like, well, how am I going to take care of my children and do something else? So the universe helping with that this week. And the outcome here. Soulmate. Boom. Just in time for next week. Speaking of next week, I want to see, beginning with the star and the energy of Aquarius. Again, major arcana card 17 equals 8 for karma. Also justice, abundance. You are about to take a big leap forward with life. Worry will be replaced with optimism and fear with hope. Joy is coming home to roost. The star again represents the sign of Aquarius, the planet Uranus. It is about communication, particularly electronic for me, because Uranus and Aquarius rule technology. Also about prayers being answered, wishes granted, dreams coming true right now for you. And opening to major arcana card strength, which represents the sign of Leo. True strength is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power and courage. And I would say, and here's another 8 too on this card. So more attachment to karma and stuff. And I would say begin with yourself again here too, with this forgiveness and compassion. Oh, by the way, that was an 8-11. The star opposite strength was an 8-11. And opening to the 2 of spring. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner, like 29, right? A spiritual partnership, to assist you in your endeavors or to expand the number of people who are helping you. The 2 of spring is a card of faith, as you're manifesting. You started with that 1, and your ideas are beginning to take some sort of form, but you got to have faith in order for them to actually do so and turn into a 3. 2 of spring also is the divine union or twin flame card of the tarot. And this is yet another 8-11, or this way. So if you just watch me for the first time, the reason I'm mentioning 8-11 is because I had a huge vision about the date 8-11, and it turns out there will be a full solar eclipse on that day. And I had this vision and started talking about it before anybody was. And I did 2 videos that are up now if you want to check them out. And they are in my currently featured videos playlist. If you want to be able to go to them directly, you can find them there, set aside. One is for divine beings that are coupled but in separation, and the other is for divine beings that are coupled but in contact. Those that are separation would include people who have not yet met their partner. You're still a divine being in separation. Okay? All right, the star. And opening to the Prince of Autumn. Trustworthy, dedicated, protective, and funny. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action and get as much accomplished as possible. The Prince of Autumn is a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Or could be representing the planet Saturn here too. Which will be in transit with Neptune at the later in the week. And coming to the 8 of winter, which is also the energy of Capricorn for me, even though it's swords, it's winter, it's air. It's so easy to convince yourself that you're trapped when you really aren't. Trust that God will lift you to new heights and give you a greater sense of confidence if you first affirm your freedom. So you, like the masculine higher self, was grasping that freedom, was claiming that freedom. That's what we have to do. We first have to claim it, I want it, this is what I want, please help me. That's when you reach out to the guardian, you reach out for help, you ask, okay, this is what I want, please help me. And then let the manifestation of positive things begin. On a more positive note, that was yet another 8, even though it was the 8 of swords, which I'm not a fan of. Our overall energy, however, is the Princess of Spring. So more of this energy of Sagittarius and Jupiter. Energetic, outgoing, optimistic, and creative is the Princess of Spring. Creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are fluttering your way. Personal growth and broadened horizons will spark fresh and original ideas, especially if you lighten up, if you dump all your shit and take on this energy of a lighthearted, mutable sign like the Princess of Spring. And doesn't this card say Jupiter in Scorpio to you with these butterflies here? And a younger, youthful Scorpio too. Butterflies represent metamorphosis, so like death and rebirth. As does the zodiac sign of Scorpio. So with this representing Jupiter for me, and then the butterflies here, one on this crown and or tiara, and one here, free form, it's definitely speaking about Jupiter in Scorpio. And the fact that it is now direct means wonderful things for us. And again, it has a really, really positive transit that can mean positive and things for us and abundance with Venus toward the end of the week. So, with what energy are we entering this week? What gift from the universe can we count on to, help us this week? And with what energy will we leave toward the end? With what energy are we beginning next week? What gift from the universe will we receive, or can we expect that week? And with what energy will we leave? Now this is just based on the energy, like provided we do nothing. We don't seek healing. We don't do anything. We just follow maybe just the guidance that we received in the other cards. What will happen? Outcome. Okay, beginning this week with unity. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor or to find a new teacher. Isn't this exactly what the first card I read was talking about, our opening message? Or you might spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. Unity, or the high priest, or the hierophant, is very much about that. Spending time surrounding ourselves with people, places, and things that align with our vibration. Right? And you want to seek a vibration equivalent to your own, or similar to your own at least, or higher, better, from whom you can learn something. Unity is also an energy of commitment, marriage even, other higher institutions, us wanting to learn something, going to school, signing important documents, making moves in life. Very positive card. It's a 5, and 5s are about change. It's a very positive change that you're doing, whether it's changing again with whom you surround yourself, or changing your status from single to married. Everything, it's always good. It can also be about breaking with tradition, like normally doing something a particular way based on maybe some sort of ideology or something, but you deciding to break with tradition and do what you feel you want based on what's in your heart and your dreams. What gift from the universe can we count on to help us with this? 4 of Summer. Your responsibilities may distract you from noticing all the gifts that God is presenting to you. Be open to invest versus saying you're going to have to look for them. You're surrounded by gifts. We're not going to name just one. You're surrounded by gifts, and you're going to have to look for them and count your blessings, large and small, and be appreciative. And that in itself is a gift, that reminder to be thankful for all that we have and all that all that is and all that will be. What energy we leave the week with? The High Priestess. This is a time to pause and to reflect, to take action. Trust in your spiritual gifts, as nothing is hidden from your divine intuition. The High Priestess is a Gemini or a water sign, and I would say most particularly Cancer, but of course Scorpio or Pisces as well, or any zodiac sign, somebody who is wise and who is observant, and that's how they become more wise. They pay attention. They're like a sponge taking in information, and they're just going to use it very carefully, only when they have to, and if they have to. They don't show all their cards. They don't tell all they know. It's piecemeal, and it's like on a need to know basis, as needed. And entering next week, boom, just as I told you, at the end of the week, Jupiter comes through. He pulls up on you with Venus. Hello. Expect a sudden positive change. Here's this energy of 5 and 10. Sudden positive change in your life. You can now move forward and make great progress. Also, so far in the 3 corners, we have major arcana. What gift can we expect going into next week? The 2 of Summer! And how appropriate will this be for next week? What I told you was next week. Is this the day? Next week, the soulmate day falls within next week. You're falling in love or experiencing a deepening of emotion in your current relationship. Marriages or romantic partnerships in distress can still be saved too. Don't give up. And by the end of next week, what should we be expecting for winter? So maybe some decision that has to be made, or recovery, relaxation, resting up, thoroughly think things through before making a decision. Continuing to overanalyze isn't going to get you any closer to a resolution, but meditation and prayer will bring you the answers you seek. We can also be planning some sort of vacation when the 4 of winter comes up. It's like similar to the 6 of winter in that sense, except for the 6 of winter, when I pull that, it's more like immediate travel is going to happen as it relates to vacations and stuff. And the 4 of winter is like contemplating it and planning it. And the outcome overall. 4 of autumn, be cautious about living a life of extremes or seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus building up walls that keep people out. 4s are about our foundations. We've got 1, 2, 3 of them here. 3 4s and 2 2s. So it's about our foundations, and it's about our foundations for most of us as it relates to our relationships. And since this is the love reading, I'm going to say our romantic relationships, especially with the Hierophant also here. You have a lot of abundance coming forward. A lot. And a lot of really positive energy coming forward. And it's going to be important to, number 1, recognize that and appreciate it and be thankful for it. And number 2, because you've recognized it, allow it to help you to loosen up the reins on yourself and like lower the wall and fix your attitude and, you know, prepare you for actual maybe fixing, right, healing a relationship. Maybe it had been in distress. And in order to bring it back together, you're going to need the right attitude. You can't be in this place of extremes. And I think I said something about extremes on my own too in the beginning of the reading before I started this. What in the world? There is a card from the Animal Tarot sitting here in the middle of the Angel Tarot. So we must be meant to receive this too. Boom. The King of Autumn is compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and grounded. Everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities are possible. And money or resources that come your way will be invested wisely. This is also about the value. Remember the last spread, money. When we said, what is the universe going to help us with this week? Money was the answer. This energy of worth and deservingness and value, and yes, actual money too, material abundance and whatever you need to sustain you and to get you through and to help to promote happiness is what we're getting this week, is what's coming through. Boom. I also wanted to see what each archetype should surrender this week. So that's my surrender deck. It was beginning with the energy of surrender frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and to regroup so that you can approach the situation more calmly. That's what I was just trying to say here. They said it more eloquently. About lowering the wall and not having a funky attitude so that you can come together. That's what I meant. Addressing the situation more calmly. I like the way they said it. Further to that, what can the masculine surrender this week to help further his cause and his life? Surrender to setting limits. It's healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. Feminine. What can we surrender this week? Surrender to your full power. Your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. And this could be connected to that first card, the goddess, our overall energy of the first spread, where I said, okay, well, the focus is femininity. That's our full power. Universal love oracle to the masculine, miracles, believing in miracles, having faith. So 2, that's the energy of 2. That's your number this week, 2. For us, forgiveness. Could be connected to that sorrow, or whatever caused this wall to go up, or whatever caused the distress in the relationship here. Masculine for you, whatever caused you to be so melancholy and just inappreciative and just sort of existing without really living and loving, is what you're guided. This is specifically for the feminine, but forgiveness there's enough forgiveness to go around. Masculine, the hashtag creepy deck moves you to pursue your passions this week. And since this is the love reading, I'd say about whom you are passionate. Pursue them this week. Again, even if it means, working on yourself, like, a plan and moving forward. How can I pursue my passions? First I do this, then I'll do that. Oh, feminine. Good. We have a lot of this energy of union here surrounding us. So again, it's going to require, and it's going to require dropping any funky attitude that we may have. I don't know why I keep feeling that that's a possibility for some of us, but I am. Masculine, your other advice from the Angel Tarot is the dreamer, the fool in the traditional tarot. A leap of faith. Follow your dreams. That leads to unexpected opportunities. You are guided to just jump in. Again, pursuing your passions, having faith, and believing in miracles, as I said a moment ago. Just jump in. The dreamer is connected to, for me, particularly in this deck, to the planet Mercury and the signs of Virgo rather, where Venus is. Venus is in Virgo right now. I guess that's how I had that slip of the tongue. Virgo and Gemini, which Mercury rules. For us from the Angel Tarot, the Ace of Fire, more Jupiter. An exciting new opportunity is coming your way. Career advancement, it could be love. This is for the purposes of this reading. It is love. Change your life now. Look at this. Ace of Fire, Union, and 2 of Summer. And the Wheel. Lastly, for the masculine, the 6 of Autumn. Your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts, acquire wise loans, or to receive a grant or scholarship. In return for heaven's blessings, be sure to share the wealth with others through donations of time or money to reputable charities. As it relates to love and relationships, this is, and just in all things, this card is about unconditional love. This card is about the ability to both give and receive without agenda. I am giving to you because I want to give to you. It is from my heart. I don't want anything back. I'm accepting this from you. I feel that there are no strings from it. I genuinely feel that. And I don't have anything in my mind either. I'm not going to try to use you or manipulate you based on this thing you're giving me. I'm not going to try to turn it around on you and throw it back in your face. It is genuine that I'm accepting it, and because it was genuine that you gave it to me, or not because it's just genuine, period. That's what the 6 of Autumn is. And I'm really happy to see this, because for me, this card used to be also connected to that song Exchange. Give me all of you in exchange for me. And, it has special connotations for me in my situation. But also a feather today blew into my car. I was parked. I had my windows up and my air conditioner on as I was waiting for my daughters to come out of the diner. And I'm sitting in front of the diner in the car, and all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I'm going to open the windows. I let all the cold air out from the air conditioner. I turned the air conditioner off. I wanted to like feel New York, right? Hear what was going on outside and feel it. And as soon as I did that, this feather, I didn't know what it was at the time. It sort of came around the window, around and in, and into my purse and in my wallet. Like in between, my wallet was sort of open in my purse, landed like right there in the middle. So I'm happy to see this. But for all of us, this is about unconditional love. And that's what this let unconditional love be your guide and give you the faith and strength that you need to just jump forward. Like by first extending the unconditional love to you. And last but not least, feminine, the Princess of Autumn. A wonderful opportunity related to your work or education or a relationship, such as a promotion or scholarship. This could be ascension of your union, ascension of yourself that will help you to move forward with other things. Whatever it is, it's coming your way and it's going to be good. Seize this chance to learn something exciting or to start a rewarding and uplifting, it says career, or a relationship. The Princess of Autumn is cheerful, reliable, intelligent, and mischievous. And is also a Virgo, as far as I'm concerned, where Venus is. Yeah, again, I'll mention that. Venus, the goddess of love, sitting here in Virgo, which is very practical. And maybe that's another reason why all these fours are showing up. It's particularly these two. The 4 of air and the 4 of earth would absolutely be, connected to Venus. And in this case, Venus in Virgo. So helping us to get our foundations, to helping us to build on something solid. Put these relationships down on something solid. That's our focus this week. Beginning with ourselves. I hope that you guys enjoyed the reading and find it helpful. And I look forward to coming back next week and seeing how you did, how the progress and how it applies to finding those soulmates or reuniting with those soulmates. Or just strengthening the bond that you have with the existing soulmates or divine partner. If you want to get a private reading with me in the meantime, hit me up at Queenofswords, thelightworker.com, or any of my, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Gmail, right? You can email me. I have a lot of packages and things that I've been working with people on. We've been putting packages together with regard to the healing and the readings and getting them in a timely way, sort of very precisely surrounding the energy of the solar eclipse that we just had and the one to come and all of that. So we can figure things out, on a very personal basis if anybody wants to do that too. Namaste, angels.